What's going on, guys? What's going on? I hope you guys are well. What's good? What's good? Getting more people to join. Yo, what's going on? Rapid Blaze, I hope you're well. What's going on? What is going on? You good? How's it going? Hope you guys are all well. How's it going? Okay, let's get this started. Wa alaikum assalam to MMA boxing. I hope you're good. I'm chilling. Good to hear that, bro. Good to hear that, bro. If anyone wants to come on, let me just pin this message so anyone could come on if they're thinking, what's going on? What's going on? Okay, so yes. Salute to Brendan, my brother Brendan. Eugene Abarat, Canelo will smash Plant, elite v good. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Leonard Ellerbe, what do you make of his comment saying that Canelo can't beat Caleb Plant? Canelo cannot beat Caleb Plant. His style is all wrong. Caleb is all wrong for Canelo. This is what Leonard has to say. Ellerbe just talks for the sake of talking. I agree. He does. I agree. Ellerbe, I don't know. He's obviously a PBC guy, and he's backing his man Caleb to do the job. Amir Khan joins Bud Crawford. Team Bud Crawford. Khan Jones, Bud Crawford. What else is going on? Manny Pacquiao looking fantastic in training, going through the pace. Errol Spence, a lot of people say he's drained. What do we make of that? Let's talk boxing. I want to know your guys, all of your opinions on that. There's a lot to talk about. Guys. So Ellerbe just talks for the sake of talking. So let's talk a bit about Leonard Ellerbe, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. He's somebody that had a very, very key part in Mayweather's career. Somebody that knows the business. But I do agree. Sometimes he says a lot of things. He's a bit biased towards his own, fighters that, under the PBC banner. He also said that, didn't he recently say that Josh Taylor can't beat Jose Ramirez? And we obviously saw how wrong he was there. So yeah, at times he can come across a little biased, especially when it's about Mayweather. It seems like he's clearly a Mayweather. He's a Mayweather, Mayweather CEO of Mayweather Promotions. So you can understand that, PBC and Mayweather have a very close relationship. Al Heyman have a very close relationship. So of course he's going to say Canelo can't beat Caleb Plant, but I think we all know boxing. We all know how good Canelo is. But yeah, what do you guys? Mayweather pays his bills. Rapid Blaze says, yes, Mayweather does pay his bills for sure. Mayweather is his Mayweather Promotions, right? It's his company. So he's the CEO of that. Get your questions in, guys. Get all your questions in. Ask me all the questions. If you want to come on live, the link is in the chat. Just jump on. Whoever wants to jump on. I'm more than happy for anyone to jump on. The link's there. Let me actually pin it. Let me pin that link. Pin message. Message pin. So it's pinned at the top now. So you guys should be able to see it. Guys, everyone in the live stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd appreciate it. Smash that like button, guys. Guys, who do you think wins? David Benavidez or Caleb Plant? Who wins that fight? What did you make of Kid Galahad's performance? Do you think he has any chance against Navarrete? Do you think he has any chance against Gary Russell? Do you give him any chance against Leo Santa Cruz? What do you guys think? Do you give them any chance against those guys? Benavidez by far. Wow. Zakamo Z said David Benavidez. Any news on Khan v Kell? Khan v Kell looks like it's gonna happen, man. Khan v Kell looks like it happened. I don't know, guys. I don't know about Benavidez, man. I know a lot of you guys seem to think Benavidez beats Caleb Plant. For me, Benavidez is a little sloppy, and Caleb Plant is very crisp with his movement. He's very smooth with his movement. He's very fast. He's very nimble of feet. Benavidez is a little flat-footed. His defense is a bit leaky. And I don't know. I question David Benavidez's punching power. Is Benavidez as powerful as what people on? Come on. Plant did not. Ray, my man Ray's in the house. Plant not durable enough for me. What makes you say Plant's not durable enough? What makes you say that Plant's not durable enough? Because to me, Plant hasn't really shown that weakness. How do you know Benavidez is durable? Because Benavidez has been down. Benavidez hasn't got the greatest defense. He gets hit a lot. I know Plant's not a big puncher, but he's a great mover. He's very fast of hands as well, just like Benavidez. So, again, I'm not sure. I'd like to see that fight. Benavidez v. Andrade. That's a good fight as well. That's a great fight. That's not really a fight that gets talked about, is it? Probably because Benavidez is with PBC and Andrade is with DAZN, but that's a good fight as well. So Zakamo says faster hands equals extra gears in timing. But has he got fast feet, though? Is his feet fast enough? Is Benavidez's feet fast enough? Who's got the quicker feet? Plant is durable, but I believe Benavidez beats him quite comfortably. How? Break it down for me then, MMA boxing. How does he beat him? Break it down for me. Ash, come on, brother. If you want to come on in the live if you're free. He was hurt by Usyk late in the fight, but Usyk, listen, here's the thing. Usyk, right, is going to be Benavidez's toughest opponent. Benavidez hasn't fought nobody yet. So that's going to be his toughest opponent to date. So Ray says Christian would tell you Andrade. Christian would tell you Andrade annihilates Benavidez. Yeah, Christian loves Andrade, man. I don't think he annihilates. No way he annihilates Benavidez. I think Benavidez is durable enough, but I do think Andrade could give him a lot of trouble because, you know, Benavidez, he's quite sloppy, you know, and he's a bit slow off feet as well. So Andrade could give him trouble. But annihilate him, nah, not annihilate him. I'm good, Ash. Yeah, whenever you want to come on, Ash, just let me know. Zakamo. Benavidez sloppy, yes. Plant gets touched a lot by C-level fighters. Yeah, but Benavidez has been down as well, Zakamo. Benavidez gets touched a lot as well. Who was it that put Benavidez down? I can't remember who put Benavidez down. Someone put Benavidez down. I remember he got put down in one of his fights. So his defense, and I've seen him, he gets caught a few bit as well. He's a bit sloppy. Not the fastest of feet. So, yeah, fast feet, Christian. Yeah, he has got very fast feet. Imran, I saw your videos with Salman. Yeah, Salman's entertaining to say the least. He's very entertaining to say the least. A lot of people seem to like him on the channel. They love Salman on there. Zakamo said that he loves Salman. Felix Cash. Felix Cash is a good fighter, man. I like Felix Cash. You know, he smashed David Bentley, was it, in his last fight? Was it Denzel Bentley? Denzel. He smashed, he walked through him. He absolutely destroyed him. That was a good performance. Quick feet. I'll take quick hands. You don't think Caleb's got you don't think Caleb's got quick hands? Caleb's got quick hands and he's got quick feet. He isn't as big as Benavidez though. Yeah, David Bentley was that guy that played for it was Denzel Bentley, right? The problem was with Benavidez, he started really slow. I'm not convinced with Benavidez yet. You know, Benavidez hasn't really fought anybody. He's a bit slow. He's a bit sloppy. It's not that he might be a really, really good fighter. Just at the minute, he doesn't look great. You know, he looks quite sloppy for me. And someone with crisp movement, I think, could cause him a lot of trouble, man. Yeah, Blackburn. Yeah, you're right, Carl. He did play for Blackburn. He was a good right winger as well. A good winger he was. At one point, he had a gun season. Bentley, and then he just disappeared. Christian is Andre's biggest fan. Yeah, Christian is he's a massive fan. Massive fan. He seems to love. But listen, Andre's a good fighter, don't get me wrong, he's just unproven. Plant was catching big right hands by Caleb Truax. Yeah, but Caleb Truax, man, he beat James DeGale, man. Caleb Truax he's no mug. Caleb Truax can fight. I know he's a little old and stuff, but he can fight, Caleb Truax. That guy is a serious, like, that's not someone to overlook, Caleb Truax. Felix Cash is serious. Felix Cash, man, I think Felix Cash needs to jump now. He needs to fight a Eubank or someone. You know, Felix Cash, I like that guy. He looks serious, man. He looks dangerous. He looks dangerous. I'm trying to think, who could Felix Cash fight? Eubank, man, that's a great fight. I like that fight. I like that fight, Eubank. What about Liam Williams? That's a good fight, isn't it? Felix Cash, Liam Williams. Does he beat Liam Williams? I don't know. Donda says Avni Yildirim beats Caleb Truax right now. Avni Yildirim can't beat nobody, man. Avni Yildirim's terrible. Avni Yildirim can't beat Caleb Truax. Caleb Truax would destroy him. Benavidez eventually will catch Caleb Plant. He will catch him, but has he got power in those punches? I question a lot, man. That guy, didn't the guy Ronald Ellis went 12 rounds? Didn't he go the distance with him? I don't know. Like I said, I think you guys might be overrating his power a little bit. I don't know how hard he punches. Gabriel put him down. Yeah, Gabriel, that's it. Gabriel put down. I don't know with Benavidez, guys. Benavidez is jury's still out until he fights a top level guy. The jury's still out. He's a bit like Andrade for me. Like, he's a good fighter, but resume poor. Plant is gonna break his hand once he hits Canelo's abs. Says Jose Lopez. Plant's gonna break his hand. So Zakamo says Salman is good. I like him. Salman speaks straight up facts. Okay, so Danny Vinlay says Benavidez beats everyone except Canelo. I want to see it. I don't know. I'm not convinced, guys. I'm not convinced with Benavidez. I'm not convinced with Benavidez, man. I think Canelo would take him apart, to be honest. Quick hands compared to who he has fought. So MMA says, Imran, what do you think about Gilberto Ramirez? What do you think about Gilberto Ramirez, the light heavyweight? He's a good fighter, man. Good fighter. You know, he needs, again, another one needs a breakout fight. He needs a breakout fight, Gilberto Ramirez. You know, he needs to fight. What about him against Joe Smith? I like that fight. You know, getting big. I think he beats Joe Smith, to be honest. Davis needs an elite trainer. You're talking about Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis. Yeah, Davis needs to fight top guys. That's what Davis needs to do. I'm struggling with Andrade. He needs that breakout fight. Yeah, you're right, Cole. He needs a couple of breakout fights, to be honest with you. He's not getting any fights whatsoever, and he's a good fighter, to be honest. A very good fighter. So Zodo Ramirez is similar to Benavidez. I think Benavidez will lose to Ramirez, to be honest with you. I'm not convinced about Benavidez yet. I need to see him fight top level guys. Yes, but Benavidez better, faster, longer. Benavidez feet not bad either. BJS beats Plant, in my opinion. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about that. Felix Cash is a future Don. Yeah, he is. Avni Yildirim wouldn't beat Caleb Truax. Avni Yildirim is poor, to say the least. Yes, he beats Liam Williams. What, Felix Cash? Make it happen then. Make that fight happen. That'd be a tough fight. Williams is a good fighter. Very good fighter. I like that. I like Williams. I think him and Cash is a good fight. Eubank is a good fight as well. Oof, Gilberto Ramirez, can't wait for him to be tested at 175. He's a good fighter, man. I like him over Benavidez for sure. Okay, Darrell went hell and back with Avni Yildirim, and that's why they made Yildirim mandatory. But Darrell's old, man. How old is Darrell? Darrell's past his sell-by date. He was way past his sell-by date. Okay, I remember when I was in the live stream of Canelo v Yildirim, and there was people saying Yildirim would knock Canelo out. Oh, who said that? Who said that? Yildirim can't knock anybody out. He's terrible, man. Sorry, man. Yildirim, man. He just lost to Jack Cullen. And Saunders too. Okay, what was that? What were you saying about Saunders? Cash v Cullen, says Carl. Oh, Cash beats Cullen, man. No, I'm not. Cash would destroy him. Overrating Benavidez. I think people are overrating Benavidez. So Ray says, yo, bro, don't forget to clear the issue with Kid Galahad and the... Oh, yes. I completely forgot. So my subscriber, Southern Realist gives me a lot of stick because apparently he thinks I give Kid Galahad a lot of stick. So Southern Realist made a comment about Carl on the live stream. Also, when I was on the live stream we were talking about Kid Galahad, and Carl made a comment about he praised Kid Galahad's performance, but basically said that he didn't like his comments after the fight because he felt Kid was disrespectful to Lee Wood. And Southern Realist, who's one of my subs, started saying that Carl's talking bleep, this, that, and the other. And then he said that I think there's something going on here, alluding to the fact that Carl, is a racist of some kind of sort. I've known Carl now for a while, and I've had a lot of debates with Carl about like Khan and stuff like that. One thing I can say is that he's not that type of person, and that he isn't that type of person at all. So he was giving his opinion, and the fact that he has an emotional attachment to Lee Wood, he mentioned the fact that he felt that Kid Galahad's comments were a little disrespectful after the fight. The fact that he was talking about the regular title when he just won a world title. So why is he not focusing on his own performance rather than talking about something that happened last week and trying to downplay what Lee Wood did the previous week? So it had nothing to do with him trying to have a dig at Kid Galahad or anything to do with that. The fact that Carl has an emotional attachment to Lee Wood, and to be fair to Carl, he praised Kid Galahad's performance. He actually said Kid Galahad dismantled Jazza Dickens. He just didn't like the comments after the fight. And Southern Realist actually, Carl, let me tell you, Southern Realist actually come back today because I put up a video with my brother Salman, and Southern Realist actually said on my channel that, Imran, you never give Kid Galahad credit. You always hate on Kid Galahad. To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Kid Galahad, to be honest with you. He's a decent, good fighter. But I just don't really warm to the guy, to be honest with you. He comes across a bit weird to me. I think I just don't really warm to the guy. The guy's a good fighter though. But yeah, it was wherever it was, going back to Carl's not that type of person. He's not a type of person that's going to be hating on him because of his background or anything, right? Because I don't know whether he got the wrong impression because me and Carl have gone back and forth about Khan, that he thinks that, Carl's from, he's not, I've known Carl for a while. He's not coming from that angle. He's just giving his opinion. And like I said, he has an emotional attachment to Lee Wood, just like I have an emotional attachment to Khan. So, he felt that his comment. So just say if someone was to say something about Khan and I feel it's disrespectful, I might speak up as well because I have an emotional attachment, just like he's from Nottingham and Lee Wood's from Nottingham. So it had nothing to do with the fact that he was coming from that angle. So I just thought I'd clear that up, that if Carl wants to come on and give his side of the story, he can. But yeah, it had nothing to do It had nothing to do with any kind of racism or any kind of like Carl's not like that, man. So yeah, I thought I'd clear that up. I completely forgot about it. Carl's a good dude, man. He's a good dude, funny guy as well. So yeah, I just thought I'd clear that up, you know. So Southern Realist, if you're listening, he's not like that, man. He's not like that at all. So yeah, he's a good dude, man. All right, okay, let's carry on with this. Cash has beaten Cullen before. He'll beat him again. That's not a fight I'm interested in. Jose, I've been watching your shows. Really, thank you, brother. Okay, so Gilberto Ramirez is on Beterbiev. Gilberto Ramirez is on Beterbiev level. We'll have to find out. You know, Beterbiev is very proven. Cash v Haney from Stoke. Zordo Bivol is a great fight. Yeah, I like that fight. You know, why aren't these fights happening at 175? Why aren't they fighting? David B is an elite trainer. Who's David B? Oh, David Benavidez, you mean? Needs an elite trainer. His dad don't cut it. Yo, his dad looks like his brother, man. You're checking his, you know, I was watching one of his dad's like, is that his dad? He looks so young. I thought that was his brother. His dad doesn't look like his dad, does he? Like, he looks too young to be his dad. Okay, so my friend Burning Desires in the house. He said, does Kell Brook have a good chance of beating Khan still? Of course. Of course he does. Of course, Amir Khan's not like he's, you know, in his prime and he's ripping people apart. He's not fought in 2 years. His last fight was against Billy Dib, you know, so of course Kell Brook has a chance. But then Khan has just an equal chance of beating Brook at this stage as well. It's both 50-50. Right, Imran. No way Benavidez is similar to Zordo. Zordo will Benavidez. Zordo will, what do you mean? Do you mean he'll beat Benavidez? Yeah, I believe so. He's better than Benavidez. Darrell outboxed Benavidez until the stoppage. Darrell was past it, to be honest. Okay, so Carl says, throw Cash in with Lemieux as a, ooh. See, the problem is with that, Carl, that's a good fight. But Lemieux has the kind of power to take his lights out. So that's a dangerous fight. You see, putting him in with a puncher like that, although Lemieux isn't very skilled boxer, very limited boxer, but he's got dynamites in his hand. And I don't know whether someone like Felix Cash would be willing to take a fight like that. That's a dangerous fight. Galahad v Navrate, who wins? I would say Navrati, man. As me and Ray were talking about, Navrati, as Ray was talking, Navrati is no one to be played with. Navrati's, he's a serious don, as Ray would say. He's a serious don. I don't know if anyone beats that guy. You know, that guy's serious. Serious. Mini Mill says, Zordo and Jaime Munguia are similar. Basic, solid, but will never be great and not elite. Give Zordo a little bit of time. Munguia is very one-dimensional, to be honest with you. He's strong, but very, very one-dimensional, to be honest. I don't know how good far Munguia is going to go, but they're kind of protecting him at the minute, aren't they? They both come forward, can be hit, have heavy hands on the inside. So I think Zordo and Benavidez. What are you saying, Ray? You think Zordo beats Benavidez? Or similar, sorry. He says he's similar. Make me a moderator, Imran. Let me sort this out 1 second. Benavidez beats Plant, Charlo, Andrade, and then loses to Canelo. Beats Plant, Charlo, Andrade, and then loses to Canelo. I don't know if he beats those guys, man. I think you guys are really overhyped, like really got very high. I think you're overhyping Benavidez. He's still unproven, man. He hasn't fought. Like, I'm going to see it against his fighting against Jose Utsakatsi. And Utsakatsi is a dangerous dude, man. He's a dangerous dude. Okay, why? Who is saying? Galahad v. Lee Wood. That's a tough one, man. 50. I think you know the reason why that's a hard one for me to say right now, because I think Lee Wood knows a lot about Galahad. They used to train together and they've done a lot of rounds together. Galahad might be the more skilled boxer, possibly, but I think Lee Wood might be a bigger puncher. So that's a tough one, you know. I like that fight. You know what? Let's not hype up Galahad. Who's he fought? Right? Who's Galahad fought? He's fought. What's his what's his best win? Toka Khan Clary. Who's he fought? You know, he's not for anyone. Arguably, Lee Wood's got the better win. Lee Wood has arguably got the better win over Kanzu. Lee Wood has a better win than Galahad. Who's Galahad? No, because let's not talk about Warrington. He lost that fight. Regardless of whether you think Galahad won or not, the fact is he got an L in that fight. So what I'm saying is Wood, resume-wise, may have a better win than Galahad. Galahad, who's his best win? Who's his best win? Who's Galahad's best win? Because for me, Kanzu's better than anything that Galahad's beat. You know, I don't think, you know, that's just my opinion. I wasn't the only person to mention that the post fight either. Yeah. I think what it is, Carl, I think Southern Realist saw your comments and I think what it is, Southern Realist is a Galahad fan. So I think he took your, you know, sometimes certain people are fans of certain fighters and they probably thought that this guy is having a dig for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why. I think that was because he had a go at me today as well, because I said Gary Russell would beat Galahad. So he said Imran's always been a Galahad hater. So yeah, that's why I think from that I realized that I think he's a Galahad fan. Callum Smith is a very good fighter, trust me. Yeah, he is. I used to be very high on Callum Smith, you know, but I got off of him when he lost to Canelo because I thought the performance was just I didn't expect Callum Smith to be so poor against Canelo. I thought Callum Smith would be a problem, but I don't know. We put in a then fight before that against you know, Ryder. I thought Callum was very poor in that one as well. So let's see what he does at light heavyweight now. If he starts well at light heavyweight, I would like to see Callum Smith against Callum Johnson. That's a good fight. You know, I think that's a very, very good fight. I'd love to see that next. Is Ben Davison the greatest trainer in the world after Reynoso? That's a bit premature, ain't it? Greatest trainer in the world. What about Freddie Roach? What about, you know, Virgil Hunter? What about, you know, some of the trainers we got here in the UK? Adam Booth. We've got some really good trainers, man, in the world, and you know, that's very, very premature there, Burning Desire. Very premature. Let him, you know, he let's not forget he got Josh Taylor fight champion at the time he got him, you know, and he had the undisputed fight with him, but come on. You know, I think it's a bit premature to say the least. So Carl tells it how it is. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Carl's, you know, he doesn't mince his words. He says what he feels, and that's what my views are based on boxing, nothing else. Yes, I'd agree with that. Carl does say what he feels, and his views are not based on anything from a malice point of view. It's all based on boxing. It's a good dude. So yeah, I feel like there's one thing, when you accuse somebody of being racist, it's a very serious accusation. Without knowing somebody, don't accuse somebody of something that serious, you know? I think it's very, and Carl definitely is not like that. So yeah, I would definitely back Carl up there. So my man Mackay, how are you?
Yeah, you alright, mate? How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Keeping well?
Yeah. I've just finished my session.
Session?
So, boxing session. Yeah.
Oh, you do boxing?
Yeah. I've been doing it for like say 3 years now. I don't really know.
Right.
About that. Yeah,
Fair enough.
It's going well, not yeah.
You're gonna turn out. You're gonna have some amateur fights.
Yeah, I've already had amateur fights.
Really?
I can't call myself an amateur boxer now because I can't fight for 2 years or spar because I just got some braces.
You got braces?
Haven't you realised that my speech has gone a little different? Or have you not realised it?
I can't tell.
No, you haven't. Yeah, well, certain things I say I can't really say properly. Yeah, I've got braces because because my jaw, it's not like placed properly, so I had to get like braces for like 2 years. Well, I've got it for like, I just got it like a week ago. Well, I got it I got it Thursday, so yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough, Mackay. Whereabouts are you from?
Thanet.
Where's that?
Like Margate, Broadstairs. Have you heard of them?
What city?
It's not a city, it's a town, Broadstairs town.
Oh, but what city is that town in?
Kent.
Kent. Oh, so you live in Kent. You're miles away from me.
Oh yeah, where are you? London?
Leicester.
Oh, Leicester, yeah. Oh, okay then.
So I want to get straight into it with you, Mackay. There's a lot of things that are happening right now in boxing. What did you make of what did you make of Leonard Ellerbe saying that Caleb Plant can't beat? I mean, Canelo Alvarez can't beat Caleb Plant. Have you seen that interview?
Do you know what? I don't even know Leonard Ellerbe said that. I don't watch any of Ellerbe's interviews because he just talks a lot of bollocks.
Yeah.
He talks so much bollocks, that guy. I just don't listen to him. But yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, of course he's going to say that. He works for the PBC.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he works. You know, yeah, he works with the PBC.
But you'd think, yeah, because he used to promote Floyd. He'd try and make Floyd look good. So he'd say, "Oh, no one beats Canelo. Canelo's pound for pound number one." You'd think he'd do that to make Floyd look good, like he's doing it with Pacquiao. But yeah, it's just odd. Really.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Ellerbe, man, he's I don't know with Ellerbe. He's a bit of a funny character to me. Like, a very funny guy, Leonard Ellerbe, you know. But obviously, he's been a guy very influential in Floyd's career. Like, he's a CEO of Mayweather Promotions.
Yeah,
he's a serious dude in Mayweather's career. You know, we're talking about a guy that's very heavily involved. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's very, very heavily involved in everything he's done for Mayweather.
I want to ask you a question, Mackay, about David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. A lot of people seem to think Benavidez beats Caleb Plant, but I'm not sure. I've been watching David Benavidez fight, and Benavidez is very sloppy, poor defense, not the fastest feet. And I've been watching Caleb. Caleb's got very fast hands, very fast feet. He's a very good mover.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. Sorry if I cut you off there. Yeah, Benavidez, he's very sloppy. He does a lot of mistakes, but like you know, Plant, he's fast on his feet and all, but like, so he can't do that for 12 rounds. And I mean, Benavidez, Plant's never seen anyone like Benavidez. The people he's been fighting, you know, he's fast. Benavidez, he's a lot bigger than him. I wouldn't say cut the ring off. He's not really good at cutting the ring off, Benavidez. I feel he's just a guy who walks forward. He doesn't like try and cut the ring off like Golovkin and all that. But I think he'll give Plant big problems with his power and everything. I reckon he could stop Plant. I don't really, you know, Benavidez. I think he's probably one of the best guys, and the second best in that division after Canelo.
Fair enough.
He's not great, but yeah.
Ash, how are you?
How's it going, brother? You okay? How's it going, bro? You okay?
I'm good, man. I'm all good, man. How are you?
I'm all good, man.
Ash, I want to come straight to you, man. Amir Khan joins Team Crawford. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen that today, you know.
Bomac, you know, he's joined Bomac as McIntyre. Yeah. How do you think that will benefit him? Do you think that will benefit him, or do you think that won't benefit? Do you think that will help him moving forward?
Definitely, man. If he's training in a gym like that with, you know, Terence Crawford pound for pound. Can you hear me?
Say that again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
It's good for him because he needs that kind of like something like training with top athletes brings the best out of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, so, it does, yeah.
Obviously, he's got something still in his locker. So maybe he can bring him out in this, because he's got more than Brook has got left, I think, anyway. What do you think? Yeah,
Brook seems really damaged, man. I was shocked how he got knocked out in his last fight against Terence Crawford, man. That that was a really weird kind of stoppage. We were watching it. I remember me and my brother were watching it, and it was a jab. It was like a well-timed jab.
It was like a hook jab. It wasn't really a jab.
Yeah.
It was like a common, like like a chopping hook, like a chopping jab.
Yeah, chopping. Yeah, but it wasn't really like a, when you've been thumped and you can see on replay and you look like, oh my God, that was a devastating right hand, a devastating punch. It was just like a well-timed, like you said, a hook jab. And I just didn't understand the reaction. I didn't understand how he just lost his complete senses. Or I found it strange.
I think Amir Khan's got a better chin than him. He took a bigger shot than Crawford and fell down, didn't he? And then got up, didn't he?
I wouldn't say he's got a better chin in his prime, but I'd say right now,
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like, when he fought Crawford, he took a shot, didn't he, in the first round, was he? Or something?
Oh, yeah. He got put down and then got back up. Yeah, he got hit with a bigger shot. Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it comes back to what I was telling you before. Kell Brook's he's not there anymore, mentally.
Do you think his eye socket is
he not eye socket? Once something like that goes, you know what I mean, like in a fighter, it's all, once you get shot, it might be like, you might have heard this 100 times before, but it's the reason why they say it, because once you get damaged like that, you're always in the back of your head, you know what I mean, like it could go again, and you don't want to take them risks where you would take them before, and you know what I mean. But like with Kell Brook now, both his eye sockets, he gets into certain fights where he maybe in his prime, if it wasn't broken, he'd maybe go further and carry on going, and but now when he gets hit a few times, he just like doesn't want any anymore. He's like, okay.
What I noticed about Kell Brook in that fight with Crawford, I felt like he was very gun shy as well. He wasn't really throwing a lot of right hands. Like he was jabbing a lot, and jabbing was beautiful, but he didn't really throw any right hands. Mackay, did you notice that?
Yeah, Brook did seem a bit off. I mean, something must have happened. I mean, he got just to see how he fell after a little jab that hit him. Yeah. After we've seen him take massive shots from Golovkin, Spence, like he just didn't look right. I mean, it's probably because he had to dehydrate himself to go to 147. He didn't make that weight in like 5 years. Like, that's gonna play on you badly and mentally. So that's definitely a massive reason. And I mean, he wasn't the same fighter either. You can tell. I mean, he still was doing good. I had him up. Like, I only gave Crawford 1 round, but obviously then Crawford obviously done that. But it was definitely the weight cut and everything that gave Brook.
What do you make of Brook's eye sockets, Mackay? His eye socket.
It's bad. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, Golovkin. Yeah, he should be fine. I mean, Golovkin and Spence. I think Golovkin done one of them. I think Spence done the other, wasn't it?
Do you think no? But do you think Brook should fight on, or do you think it's dangerous for him to be fighting on? I
think it's pretty dangerous. I mean, he doesn't need to prove anything. I mean, who else can he fight? I mean, his goal is obviously become world champ again, and obviously, what weight class does he want to fight as?
He can't become world champion. I don't think.
Yeah, 147 definitely not. 154 definitely not. I think he should just retire. Yeah.
If he was to have a Khan fight, who would you favor in that fight?
Khan.
Why? Why would you favor Khan?
Khan's got a bit more in the tank. He's got more tank. Brook's just finished. I feel Khan he can have one more big fight against someone like Brook, and he'll get the win.
Fair enough.
He's still pretty fast. Got a bit of power as well.
Ash, what do you think?
To be honest, I think Amir Khan would do him, I reckon, inside 6 rounds. Kell Brook now, he's all talked, in my opinion. Now Kell Brook, he hyped up the Crawford fight. He'll come in good shape, and then he got caught by a /hook jab, and he just gave up. You know what I mean? Whatever he was rocked, whatever. He still didn't show a good showing, you know what I mean, for what he should have. So even Amir Khan, at this stage, would still, I think, will have him easy 6 rounds, unless he gets caught with a big shot. And
you know what? I feel for Brook, because, Brook, here's the thing, Ash. If Brook gets beat by Khan, his career is going to look not great at all. You know that?
But he could get seriously hurt in this fight then.
No,
So
because when you think about it, if you look at Brook's career, he's only really beaten one guy, like just Porter.
it's a
You see
shame,
what I
really.
mean?
It's a shame, really, because he took the wrong fights. Because I'm sure at one time he could have took the Vargas fight for the unification.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people say Kell was avoided this, that. Here's the thing, and here's my think about this, that Kell Brook was chasing Amir Khan all his career. Fair enough. Amir should have taken that fight, I think, in 2015 when Brook was champion. But people don't understand that Kell Brook
Took other
had a
fights.
chance to fight Jesse Vargas in a unification fight. Vargas had signed the deal. And
He would
then
have
he
beat him.
decided to take the Golovkin fight for money, Ash.
Yeah, no, but he would have beat Vargas if he fought him.
I would have beat Vargas. He would have beat, and it was at home. It was in his hometown.
And then if he went on and beat, then he could have fought Keith Thurman. I think if he didn't fight them guys, he even could have beat Keith Thurman, I think, with the power and the way he fought. But once you get, like I said, once you get these life-changing injuries, even got, remember when he got stabbed in the leg as well when he fought Porter.
But he came back from that, to be fair to him, though. He
Even
came
then,
back
man,
from that stabbing.
but in regards to his eyes, that's just something that is always playing on your mind.
Yeah, that's finished. You know what? The Golovkin fight, he sold his career away that night, you know, because let's be honest, Carl Froch said this as well, and Carl Froch hit the nail on the head. He said when he fought Golovkin, something left Kell Brook that night. Something disappeared from Kell Brook that night, and he was never the same after that. Kell Brook, in my opinion, if he had fought Jesse Vargas, he would have beaten Jesse Vargas. He would have now been a unified welterweight champion in the welterweight division. Kell Brook, man, he took the wrong move at the wrong time. You know, the Golovkin fight was great money, but the Vargas wouldn't have been a great money. But imagine if Kell was a unified champion, right? Him and Khan would have probably would have made Kell Brook $10 million.
I'll give you an example. Look at the difference when you see like Errol Spence. He had a big car accident. He came back and he fought Danny Garcia. When you look at Kell Brook now, he had a stab on his leg and he went and fought guys like, I don't know the names. And he's a champion, so, you know. So you gotta
Gavin
look at
and Bizier and all of those guys.
So,
and Dan, Jojo Dan.
You can't say, you know, whoever's. I like Kell Brook. He's a good, you know, I'm not a fan of his, but he never put the dedication in. You know what I mean? In that way, where he could have been better. But right now, Amir Khan, I think will have him.
EK, what do you make of EK? You there?
Hey there, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good. Alhamdulillah. So basically, I think they're both over the hill. To be honest, I feel like
they are,
whoever does something first in the fight is gonna win.
Yeah.
If either Khan catches him like in the right area, like I don't know how well his eyes have healed, or if Brook knows Khan is like testing you in the chin. Like I don't know what's gonna happen in the fight. It's like whatever happens in the first 4 rounds. Determine their last.
Someone's gonna get put to sleep, innit? Or not put to sleep, but someone's gonna get knocked out.
It's gonna happen dramatically. I don't think it's gonna be like if Khan just goes after him, like he might get caught, or if like Khan goes after him, Khan actually might get him out of there. It's like I think it's like very 50-50
lottery, innit?
Yeah, it's like very 50-50 because they're both like past their best. There's like they're both like disposable. I mean, not disposable, but they're both going like easily lose to anyone.
Yeah. What do you make of him joining Team Crawford?
Yeah, I was kind of shocked. But like, I don't know. I just feel like Khan has bad habits in the ring, no matter who he's with. I think like at some part of the point, like I'm a huge Khan fan. Like, my last name is Khan. You rep Amir no matter what. But I just feel like he gets carried away. He does like 6 punch combinations and like he just gets carried away. And like I think I hope maybe at this stage, maybe one last fight he does his best to like stay to the game plan. You know, be very disciplined. But like he's got too much heart for his own good, and he just. I think
in this fight he needs to let his hands go, because I think there's a good chance if he hits Brook could go. If Brook hits him, he could go. I don't think this is fight a disciplined fight. I think this is about going out there and just taking him apart. Like, how he normally does.
I'm not saying be conservative with your punches. I'm saying like don't have like 7 punch combinations. Like just
don't go like wild.
He does that sometimes. He just like goes like all offense, no defense. You know, like there's got to be a little bit of mixture, but obviously like put the pressure on him because. But to be honest, like who did Khan fight last? Like was it Crawford?
Billy Dib.
Or was it? Sorry.
Billy Dib.
Billy did.
Yeah, he fought him in
Was
Saudi
that before
Arabia.
or after Crawford?
After Crawford.
Oh, okay.
That was
Yeah,
his
he
last
did look
fight.
good in that fight, but Billy Dib is like weight class
Featherweight.
below, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He's a
So
feather.
yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I'm very. It's like it could go either way, so which is exciting. But like, I wish this fight had happened before.
Yeah. 5 years ago, man. It's too late now. It's too late. Passed over the hill, guys. I wanted to ask you about so Pacquiao Spence. How do you see that one going? Pacquiao seems to now be starting to become, according to the bookies, more of an even fight now. Makai, how do you see it going?
I see Pacquiao winning.
Really?
Maybe you could stop him late, but I'm not going to burn it. I think he's going to beat him by points.
Right. Freddie Rhodes said, Makai, that Manny Pacquiao is going to outbox Errol Spence and make him look average. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, Spence, he's got a lot of faults that are just waiting to get exposed. And you got someone as great as Pacquiao who's going to expose everything he does. You know, I mean, even with film studies of Spence, you can see all the mistakes he does and everything. And you know, he's kind of tailor made for someone like Pacquiao as well. A lot of people say that. I think Pacquiao's just going to punish him with every wrong thing Spence will do, because he does a lot of wrong things.
Ash, how do you see that fight going?
I agree with you, man. What's his name? K, is it? I think Makai, yeah. I think Manny Pacquiao will win this fight.
Really?
Yeah, I think the reasons being because Manny Pacquiao hits hard as well. People forget that. They think he doesn't hit hard. And a lot of the time, fighters that fight Manny Pacquiao, they go to hospital after the fight. They don't go to press conferences. So, and with the angles and with his speed, and he's running I don't know how many miles a day, and he's such a special fighter. Obviously, I've got a soft spot for him because I've been watching him all his career. That doesn't mean that Errol Spence is a shit fighter, a unified champion, but it's just levels. And if he just comes in and starts using angles and speed and in and out, and if he's got his stamina right, I don't think Errol Spence is going to land on him, but he ain't going to hurt him, knock him out or anything like that. He couldn't even knock out. Who did his last fight? Was it Sean Porter? Or no?
Danny Garcia.
He couldn't knock out Danny Garcia. So you think he's going to knock Manny Pacquiao out? I don't think so. But that's my opinion. And I think Manny Pacquiao on the points. Depends if he hits. If he can't take a punch, you don't know if he can take a punch. So if he can't take the punch, he might even stop him, like, TKO, like the referee.
You know what, Ash? Freddie Rhodes said that after the accident that Errol Spence ain't the same. He said, although he beat Danny Garcia didn't really test Errol Spence. Errol Spence ain't the same guy. Would you agree with that?
To be honest, Freddie Rhodes says that before every fight. He always says, "Oh, we're gonna knock this guy out. We're gonna do this." And even if you look at the Thurman fight, what did he say? I can't remember what he said. "Oh, we're gonna knock him out, whatever."
Yeah.
And so, but you take it with a pinch of salt. And obviously, Errol Spence is not the same, obviously, because that kind of accident must have cracked some bones, must have fractured something. So, but you're going to wait and see, because now he's going to be in there with a proper fighter, not the guys that he's been fighting. Like Danny Garcia was really a 140. And then who else is he for? Sean Porter, fair enough, but Sean Porter is not nothing special. He's just a pressure fighter. So, and even then he couldn't keep him off. So it wasn't like, you know what I mean, he's got some skills where he could have kept him off. He still couldn't keep him off. He ended up fighting Sean Porter's fight. So, I just think it's interesting, but I think Manny Pacquiao, I think if he's still got stamina in him, he should do it.
Yeah. EK?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with most of people in here. I think Errol will win because I think we keep on reminiscing about like Pacquiao when he was younger, and we forget like about the Keith Thurman fight and the second half of the fight, because Pacquiao was getting hit a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's gonna be. I think some of my money's on Errol, but obviously Manny's a bona fide legend. Anything can happen. Like he could still have one more great night. But I just think like there's a lot of things stacked up against him. But I think Errol will get the job done on points.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not gonna disagree with anyone. It could go either way. I worry for Pacquiao down the stretch. I worry for Manny Pacquiao. Later on in the fight, what I saw against Keith Thurman. Errol Spence is a pressure fighter, and he's dangerous. Later on, I think he may tire, and that's the only thing for Pacquiao later on in the fight. Can he keep up? Can he keep up with Errol Spence? Because Errol Spence is a young guy, man. He's a young guy. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be hard for Pacquiao.
Can Errol Spence take Manny Pacquiao's power?
Yeah, how's Spence going to deal with the footwork and everything of Pacquiao and the speed?
He's going to get touched the first 6 rounds. So we're going to see if he can take the power first.
But if he does, though, if he is able to absorb Manny Pacquiao's power, then
I can guarantee you one thing: he will be going to hospital. You won't see a press conference then. That's a guarantee. And then you can remind me if he does.
That's a little extreme, I think. I think it'll be
okay, we'll see. Okay, we'll see then. It's not far away now, anyway.
Everything Spence is going to throw, Pacquiao is going to throw something back. That's what Pacquiao always does. Spence he's a flat-footed fighter, and obviously people bring up the Thurman fight. People bring up the Thurman fight. Thurman, I'm not saying he'd beat Spence, but he's a better boxer than Spence. And that's true. He is a better boxer than Spence. I think he is. Also, I'm not being horrible about Spence, but all Spence's usually done, Spence's usually got away with a lot of things because of his weight. He gets away with a lot of stuff because of his weight. But Spence Thurman is the better boxer, and and then Pacquiao is keep on saying, we're hearing good things about him. He's constantly on his feet. He's even dropping sparring partners, and he's a lot better than he was for the camp for the Thurman fight.
Yeah.
I think I said that wrong there.
No,
he's doing a lot better. He's doing a lot better this camp than he was in the Thurman camp. Yeah.
Ahmed, my man, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Where have you been, man? Where have you been? You've missed so many debates. The other day we were talking about Terence Crawford, and you missed it, man.
There's been a COVID death in the family, so
is there?
Hands-on with that, so
sorry about that, man.
I've kind of missed the news last few days.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Sorry to hear that, mate.
Sorry.
Ahmed, you know what? If you've probably seen it, the news about Crawford, Amir Khan joins Terence Crawford's camp, Team Beaumat or Team Crawford. What do you make of the news?
Yeah, it's great news. He could, develop a bit more, I think, and set up.
At this age, I reckon it's more motivation training with someone like Crawford, right? Not really develop at 34, 35. He is what he is now.
That's true, yeah. No, it's just maybe he's got that last fight in a minute with the Kell Brook fight, tying that up, isn't he?
Well, Ahmed, I want to ask you about Crawford. I know you're a massive Crawford fan. Crawford and Sean Porter. Apparently that fight is kicking off.
Is it?
Yeah. There's talks about it. There's purse bid stuff. What happens in that fight?
I think Crawford will just be, as long as he stays elusive and boxes his fight. I think Porter won't be able to really get near him really, and I think Crawford will pick him apart in the later rounds.
Yeah. I'd definitely echo what you're saying. I think Crawford's might be too much for Ahmed. Did you see Kid Galahad's performance on the weekend?
No, I've missed it. I missed quite a few things. The fights. Yeah.
Did you manage to catch the highlights?
Not even the highlights, no. But I must I'll be catching up with everything from now on as things have died down in it with the funeral and that.
Yes. I hope everything's good though, innit? Like I thought, you know what? The other day I was thinking about you. I was like, where's Ahmed disappeared? I was wondering. I was like, normally Ahmed's there, but I hadn't seen you for so long. But Makai, I'm gonna come to you because I know you saw Kid Galahad performance. What do you make of Galahad's performance? And does he beat Gary Russell, Navarrete, all of those guys?
He doesn't beat Gary Russell and Navarrete, but he beats Lee Wood. He beats. He'll probably beat Warrington as well if Warrington gets past his. If Warrington gets past the Lara, and if they rematch, he beats those two, but he doesn't beat Navarrete. Navarrete's, he's too big, powerful, and he's good. And Gary Russell, he's speed and everything. Yeah, I think he'll be too much for Galahad, but it'll be a good fight though, him and Galahad. But yeah, I thought Galahad boxed really well. He showed good offense and defense. He was kind of dominating Jazz Dickens, really.
He was.
He was punishing him, man.
Really, it was a mismatch.
Well, at first it wasn't, then in the fight, and then we saw Galahad he showed him those levels.
So, what's next for Galahad? What do you want to see?
I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Lee Wood. Unification. I mean, Hearn's trying to push Lee Wood's belt because he's got the regular belt. He's trying to make him the super champ because Leo Santa Cruz is still the full champ yet, but he hasn't fought there in how many years? It's coming up to like 3 years now, I think. Not 3 years, but yeah, he hasn't fought there, and he doesn't go there.
2 years.
2 years, yeah. So yeah, they need to strip him, and then Lee Wood needs to get reinstated as the full champ.
Ash, did you watch the Kid Galahad fight?
I didn't. I was busy doing some damn mistake. I watched a few of his previous performances, and they weren't the best, so I didn't think would have missed much. Not them ones.
Yeah. He's not the most exciting fighter to watch. What do you make of Kid Galahad anyway?
I don't know, man. To be honest, I ain't watched too much of him, but I don't rate him or anything. I don't rate him now. I don't rate him. I think if he goes to, I don't know, unify something, he'll lose like that guy said. Them guys, the other guys, they'll beat him. He's a good fighter. I think, to be honest, in this era, he's lucky to have a belt. If he was in a different era, he would never be a world champion.
Yeah. I think he's just difficult to watch. I didn't rate him much, but after the weekend, he went up in my book. Says Curtis Allen. Allen says he didn't rate him. He didn't rate him prior, but then after that performance. But the thing is, Curtis, he fought Jazza Dickens. He already beat him before. Really, when you think about it, Ash, he hasn't really fought anybody, has he?
He hasn't, and he's got fighting a guy who he already knows, been in there 12 hour rounds with him, so he knows what he does and what he doesn't do. So he's comfortable in there. If you fight Gary Russell Jr., beats him comfortably, then we can talk and say, he's actually all right.
Because he's not going to beat Gary Russell, is he?
Then he's not that good, is he? Then, to be honest. But at the end of the day, you got to respect he's a world champion. So, he's a world champion. But if you ask me my opinion, then I don't know.
Which mask?
So yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on from Galahad, Lee Wood, and all those guys, let's come to the main man, Canelo Alvarez, because I want to get Ahmed's opinion on Canelo. Canelo, have you been watching this? Obviously, Ahmed, you've been obviously, busy of late. What do you make of Canelo Caleb Plant, Ahmed?
Is it off or on? I don't know.
Basically, what's happened? There's been a lot of story. I can't explain it all now, otherwise we'll be here all night. But they're talking about a fight between Caleb and Canelo on Fox in November. In November, they were talking about Canelo v Bivol. That was being talked around about a catchweight at 172 for the light heavyweight title. What do you make of that? Canelo fighting Bivol at catchweight. I want to know your opinion.
Yeah, I think the Bivol fight, I would have really loved that fight. We went at 172. I still think Bivol is a favorite, I think.
Wow, 172?
Even at 172, yeah. Unless he got him down to 168, then I don't know, because that would have sipped his power in it. But I think 172, 175. I think Bivol's a really good boxer. He's got the length on Canelo, and I think he would have had the better of him, I think. and I'd really love to watch that fight actually. So at this stage, what's happened now with the Caleb Plant? What's he decided now?
I think the Caleb Plant fight might happen in November with Canelo. So I think Bivol fights off the table. By the way, Ahmed, I want to get your thoughts on who wins, Bivol or Beterbiev.
I think Bivol beats him.
You think Bivol beats Beterbiev?
Yeah.
Just you think he's a better boxer?
I just think I know Beterbiev is a good pressure fighter as well, but I think Bivol's a better boxer and he's got good footwork to get himself out of trouble and that. You know, he's got that little bit of, you know, elusiveness about him.
Yeah, Bivol's good. Bivol's good. I've got guys, Ray and Carl, who seem to think that Bivol's very, very good. I don't know. I think Ray doesn't. I think Ray thinks that Bivol would lose to Beterbiev, but Bivol would beat Canelo at 175. So he kind of has a similar viewpoint as you. I think Canelo's too strong, and he'd beat. I just think Canelo's a beast right now. I think it's going to be very. By the way, Ahmed, who wins, Canelo or Beterbiev?
50-50.
50-50.
Yeah. I'm still struggling to pick a winner. But going with experience, if I'd had to, I'd give the edge to Canelo, very, very slight edge because of experience.
Right. You know, I don't know. That's a tough fight. That's a proper 50-50 fight. That's a proper 50-50 fight. Jets agrees with you. Jets says Bivol will beat Beterbiev comfortably, Ahmed.
I wouldn't say comfortably, but I think he'd edge him out.
What? How do you think he'd just outbox him?
I think I think he'd get the rounds ahead of him, and I think he'd frustrate Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev will get found out because I think he's a wee bit slower than Bivol, isn't he? In the foot and the hands.
Ray says if Beterbiev lands, it's all over.
Land, you got to position yourself in it, and you know what I mean. I don't think Bivol's going to be there to be hit more than once anyway. Like, you know.
And Young Billionaire says Beterbiev would maul Bivol.
Don't know about that.
You don't think Beterbiev might be too strong for Bivol? Because Bivol's not a big 175. You mentioned it. You don't think? Go on.
No, I don't think so, because I don't think he's going to be there to be hit, if you know what I mean. So the tools that Beterbiev brings, I don't think will be as effective against Bivol if Bivol's at his best.
So, Carl, is that you saying that Bivol will box Beterbiev's head off? Is that what you're saying, or you're talking about Canelo Bivol? Who are you talking about there, Carl? Because I don't know. With Beterbiev, I think Beterbiev might be too strong for Bivol. I think Ash, have you seen much of Beterbiev? Ash?
Yeah, he's not a bad boxer. He's not the best, but he's not bad as people say he is. Beterbiev, he can box a bit. Didn't he go to Olympics? Or am I mistaken for another guy?
No. Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev was he? I'm not sure, but Beterbiev wasn't a Olympian. I think he was.
I'm not sure. I'm thinking.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Beterbiev. Beterbiev had a very stellar amateur record.
He was, man. He can box. It's just that it's like people said about Canelo. He can't. What do you call it? He can't fight boxers and the movers, and he shows he can. In it, Beterbiev can do that as well. He just doesn't need to. He just can walk you down and knock you out. So
Beterbiev Ash had a very stellar amateur career.
That's what I'm saying.
Beterbiev was a very good boxer. He did have a very stellar amateur career.
Because I'm sure he was in the Olympics.
I can't remember if he medaled. When I mean Olympian, I mean, did he medal at the Olympics? I don't know. I know Golovkin medaled.
I'm sure he fought there. He fought. I'm sure he fought at Olympics. I'm sure about that, but I don't know if he got a medal. I'm not sure. I think he'll have Bivol. Too strong for him.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with you. I think Beterbiev might be too strong. Have you seen Beterbiev work out? Have you seen how much of a beast he is?
Yeah. I've seen how he does these press ups on his hands. Have you seen that?
Ridiculous.
I've seen a bit of him. It just reminds me now. Yeah, he does on his knuckles and all sorts.
Yeah. Absolute monster.
He's an animal. He's
even. You know who he reminds me of, Ash? He looks a bit like Khabib.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know, when the guy was talking, I said he'll do a Khabib on this Bivol guy. Just maul him.
Yeah. I'd have to agree. He'd do a Khabib. He'd just maul him.
I've not seen much of Bivol, but that's why I can't really say much. But what I have seen of him, remember I told you when he's fighting that guy, that black guy,
Richards.
Yeah, look, he gave him a good fight as well, didn't he? It wasn't like he gave him a decent fight, at least 6 rounds. And Beterbiev is a different level.
Yeah. Beterbiev is a monster. Like, he is an absolute monster. Richards was good though, you know. Richards. He was tall and lanky and long.
Because he beat Shakan Peters just before that. Did you watch that fight? He knocked him out, didn't he? So he stopped him. I don't know if you know who Shakan Peters is.
Yeah. He knocked that. Yeah, he knocked him out.
He was supposed to be coming up because he fought on a few matchroom cards. Shakan did. So obviously he was meant to be the one going through, if you know what I mean. Like the promoters were thinking he's gonna beat Richards. But obviously Richards beat him. And then obviously I think it was too early for him to fight Bivol anyway, but obviously he thought he was ready.
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of I think Beterbiev would knock Bivol out. I think he's too strong. He's just too strong. He's too strong.
He'll do like what Tyson Fury said, he'll come like a 7-ton truck on him. Run him over.
Yeah. I think Craig Richards though. I think I would like to see Craig Richards against Callum Smith. That's a good fight. That guy he really impressed me against Bivol, you know. Really impressed me. Bivol was not even in first gear against Richards, didn't get out of that. Beterbiev would have sparked Richards out in 1 or 2 rounds. Yeah, he's too strong. I would agree. Do you think Beterbiev would have knocked Richards out, Ash?
Yeah. I think so, because it's just you got him. I just think Beterbiev compared to Bivol, a bit of a different level, isn't it? Because if you look at Beterbiev's fights, he just knocks guys out. He doesn't. That's as far as I remember, anyway. Unless you can correct me if I'm wrong, he knocks guys out. He doesn't fucking mess about. So he would have went in there and he would have just walked this guy Richards down. Richards is no special boxer. He doesn't do anything special, so I don't see him. I'm not a specialist, but I don't want to see him. Ken Richards giving him problems. You didn't see him calling Beterbiev out, did he? He wanted to fight Bivol.
Who, Richards?
Yeah, he could have. What's the difference? Could have fought him. He's the champion as well.
Yeah. I think Beterbiev would. Beterbiev's too strong. Mackay, what do you think?
What do I think about Beterbiev and Bivol? Yeah, I see going out a bit like the Beterbiev versus Usyk fight. I see Beterbiev breaking Bivol down. Usyk, he had good feet and everything, good combos, and it still wasn't enough. Beterbiev was still on him, jabbing his head off. Everything Beterbiev throws, just his jab as well. It's painful. He's very good at kind of ring off and everything. And he's just constantly on you. And he'll be too much for Bivol. Bivol's a lot smaller than Usyk as well. So yeah, Beterbiev would probably stop him.
Yeah, Imran, just to add, is the reason why Canelo went up there and chose because that Kovalev at 175.
Yeah, Kovalev.
And the difference is when Andre Ward went up there, he went to fight the best guy up there, didn't he? Kovalev, and he was the best, like at 175. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, Canelo knew not to go up and bark up that tree. So he went to fight the weakest champion, if you want to say that. You know what I mean?
Do you think Canelo didn't want to fight Beterbiev?
It's not that. It's a dangerous fight. He doesn't need to.
Ward didn't want to fight Beterbiev though, or those kind of guys. I think Beterbiev was Ward's mandatory.
Ward wouldn't fight him.
Yeah, I don't think Ward would have fought. Yeah.
No, but Ward only went up just to fight 3 fights up there, fight the best guy at the time, who was Kovalev, wasn't he? Had the 2 belts.
Yeah,
And then
Kovalev.
that
Yeah,
was it. It
Kovalev was a
wasn't like
decent
he wasn't gonna make a career up there. He was just going up there
I
to
think.
show how great he was.
You know, I think he said that. I think he said that. He did want to. I swear he
Did
said
he?
something like that. Yeah, I think he did.
Okay,
I could be wrong, but yeah.
Who wins,
thought-
guys? Beterbiev award.
Beterbiev would
yeah, I think
destroy him.
Beterbiev might be doing as well because of power, innit?
Yeah.
You think Beterbiev would beat Ward?
Yeah, I think Kovalev beat Ward the first time anyway.
Yeah, he did.
Mm.
So, Ahmed, Ward and Beterbiev, who wins that fight? Ahmed?
Back in a sec.
Yeah, I think Ahmed's. Some people may disagree there, Ash, about Beterbiev and Andre Ward. Some people may say, Ward is a lot more skilled.
He could, to be honest with you, yes, but he couldn't keep off Kovalev. And Beterbiev is a bigger guy. So no matter how many skills you got, it comes to a time in a fight you have to stand and fight. For example, when Sean Porter and Errol Spence showed all his skills against Mikey Garcia, but he couldn't show any of them skills against Sean Porter because he had to stand there and fight. So you got, if you want to, you know what I'm trying to say, if you're a special fighter like Canelo, he's got that in his locker. If he needs to stand and fight, he stands there and fights. So even Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, these are the special fighters. If you have to have everything in your locker. So Beterbiev maybe have that as well. We definitely know he can stand there and fight.
We've got a lot of people in the comment section, Ash, saying Andre Ward beats Beterbiev. I think Ward was a great fight. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's as easy as what some people. I think Beterbiev could have easily beaten Ward as well, because Kovalev. I think Beterbiev is a bit more of a beast than Kovalev, but I think Kovalev is a better boxer. Do you see where I'm coming from? I think Kovalev is a better boxer than.
He maybe put his punches together a bit better.
Yeah. But Beterbiev's a lot more ruthless. Do you know what I mean? He just wants to destroy you.
He doesn't care what's coming at him.
Yeah.
Kovalev will maybe think, maybe watch the punch or whatever.
He's more.
Beterbiev is the guy who doesn't care what's coming at him. He's gonna take you what you got, and then he's gonna give him he's gonna give you what he's got, kind of thing.
Ahmed, are you there?
Like you guys in the comments, it's all opinion, isn't it? Obviously on the board. You know what I mean? But like you said, on the fact of the matter, Kovalev beat him in the first fight. So So
But Ray, how's Ward going to be able to keep Beterbiev off? Beterbiev probably walks around at 200 pounds, man. I don't know how Ward's going to keep Beterbiev off. That's the thing, because let's be honest, Beterbiev ain't. Beterbiev is not Carl Froch, who's a smaller 168, or a Kessler. Beterbiev is a monster. Let's be honest. Beterbiev's a big dude. That's a hard fight. So I don't think that's an easy fight for I don't think that's an easy fight for Ward. That's a good fight. That would be a very good fight. And I did think Kovalev beat Ward the first time. I think Ward did made some adjustments and got the job done in the second fight. Go on, Ash.
I didn't say anything.
I thought you were talking.
No, okay.
Makai.
Go on.
Say that again.
I was just gonna say, just off topic, a different matchup. Lomachenko and Tank Davis is a fight I'd like to see.
What fight do you like to see?
Davis and Lomachenko.
Who wins?
Oh, that's a tough one, man. I can't give you off the bat on that one, but that's a 50-50 fight, to be honest. That is, because it's like boxing skills and angles against power and skills. Obviously, Davis has got skills as well, so it's a tough one to call. That's why I want to see that. What do you think? Who do you think wins?
Oh, that's a great fight, man. I'm slightly edging towards Lomachenko on points, but I couldn't say that with any confidence, man.
This is what I mean. I can't really. It's a 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a 50. It's a very, very good fight. Do you know what I mean? A very, very good fight. I wouldn't be confident picking either way.
Yeah.
I think it's a very, very good fight. Makai, what do you think? Oh, I think Makai's I think he's off. Let's go through some of these comments in the comment section then, Ash, and I'll ask you some questions. Let's go down. Let's speak. Okay, so it says here. So Jet says people who think Richard's fight was competitive think Bellew was outboxing Usyk. Either way, Ash, give me your opinions on Usyk Joshua. Who wins that?
Usyk Joshua is a good fight. I can't wait to see that. Is that in September?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. You know what it is? Anthony Joshua is not that much of a good boxer though, compared to Usyk.
You don't think Joshua's a good? You don't think Joshua's a good boxer?
I mean, because in regards to like boxing compared to Usyk, Usyk's a better boxer.
Oh yeah, he's the better boxer. But what about Joshua and the size that he's got over Usyk?
Oh yeah. I mean, like obviously, that's a 50-50 if you, in my opinion. You know what? Because if Usyk comes and boxes his head off and keeps him moving and has a few shots and doesn't get hurt and wins on points and you can do it. But I think Anthony Joshua, he needs to go back to his old style. He can't he can't be fighting the way he fought Ruiz, and he's a bit tentative though because he doesn't let it go like before. He'd go like in a Klitschko fight. You know what I mean? Like that. If he fights like that, like a bit more, knowing what he's doing and not rushing things, he can win this guy. Just knock him out. He could knock him out in 6 rounds because he's the bigger guy. He'd come in at least 2 stones heavier, maybe 3 stones heavier. But it just depends if he can, because you got to remember, you got to have some sort of boxing, kind of level when you're fighting a really good boxer. Because otherwise, you can't just walk and punch, knock him out. You got to at least box a bit with him. So as long as you can control the pace of the fight and impose himself on him and keep the center of the ring, you can win the fight. But if he starts trying to box and trying to win on points, then it's going to be a long night. Well, I fancy AJ to win the fight, but I can't say knockout or points. It could be either way.
So Carl, my good friend Carl Ash says he seems to think that AJ's too big and too strong for Usyk. Usyk's too small. He's not a heavyweight. He's not looked good at heavyweight. He's not looked good at heavyweight. He's struggling against Chisora. Usyk, Joshua's gonna crush him.
Chisora, if you really look at that fight, Chisora didn't land much. He just was rushing him. If you look at the fight, he didn't land much punches. And Chisora, that's what Chisora does to everyone. It's like saying Sean Porter. Sean Porter does that to everyone. It's not like saying, like, look what he did to Adam Spence. It doesn't mean Adam Spence.
Yeah, I'd agree. Ash, you there? I think Ash has been cut off. Do you guys think Khan will have a tune-up fight before the Brook? Ash, you there?
I can see that he's talking, but I just can't hear him. You might need to plug your thingy in again.
Yeah. You there, Mackay?
Yeah, I'm there, yeah.
Yeah, so what do you make of AJ Usyk? Carl is saying that Usyk, too big, too strong, he will destroy. Joshua's too big, too strong, and he will destroy Alexander Usyk. Your thoughts, Mackay?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Usyk's too good to get destroyed. He's a really good boxer, great feet. He's got a bit of power as well. People are acting like he's not got no power at all. Like, he has got power. Didn't he rock Chisora as well a couple of times?
Yeah, he did. He did
badly. He badly rocked Chisora. Yeah, in the last 5 seconds of the round, he could have stopped him. He really could have. That probably had a lot to do with exhaustion as well from Chisora because of how many times he was trying to land on him. AJ's going to have to land on Usyk. Usyk's not exactly a guy to easily land on, and AJ, when he's going to miss those punches, when he's going to struggle to land on him, he's going to gas out. That's when Usyk will take advantage, I think.
So Carl says he hasn't demonstrated anything at heavyweight. You lot are working off the cruiserweight boxer.
Nope, I'm working. Well, yeah, I am. You can still use those thingies for cruiserweight. and I'm also using for his last fight. He showed a lot in that last fight. You know, who else done a better job on Chisora in their first fight than Usyk? I'm only thinking Klitschko, Vitali, not Fury, because Fury outboxed him in a rematch. Their first fight was Fury had a bit of problems. It's a bit like if Usyk rematch Chisora, then it'll be a lot more easy for Usyk. So Usyk didn't do that bad as people think. Yeah, I think he's going to beat AJ.
Ray J. Wells Sports News. My friend Richard says, I feel like AJ will catch Usyk mid to late rounds, but even if it goes to points, I can see judges giving all close rounds to AJ, and I feel pretty much every round will be close. But AJ also a good boxer.
You know, for me, obviously because AJ he's the money man. They're going to give as many rounds to him as possible. You know, and Usyk will need to do something spectacular, let's just say, in those rounds for him to actually get the nod. Because we know how the judges are going to be like. Usyk can outbox Joshua for one round, they'd still probably give it to Joshua, like for landing like a couple of jabs or something. So it's very difficult for Usyk to get a decision, but I think he will win it clearly. When the judges will have to give Usyk the win. Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't see it being cut. Some people think it's going to be quite easy for AJ. You know, he's just going to walk through him. When's AJ ever walked through anyone? I mean, AJ, he's usually a guy he's usually been finding his back foot lately. Like, I won't be shocked if he starts finding his back foot in the Usyk fight. That's how he fights now. He done it with Povetkin, Ruiz, Pulev. Right. Doing it a lot.
Fair enough. Carl says David Haye will achieve more than Usyk at heavyweight. Mark my words. Hype job at heavyweight.
Oh, can you hear me eating? Ray just pointed out. My bad. What was the question? Sorry.
David Haye will achieve more than Usyk at heavyweight. Mark my words. Hype job at heavyweight.
Well, Haye, he beat Valiev. Got a belt. Well, what if Usyk beats Joshua? I think he does. Then that means he's already achieved more than Haye.
Yeah.
But
who do you think who wins? Usyk or Haye?
At what weight?
Cruiserweight.
Usyk. Yeah, Usyk.
What? How do you think he wins it?
Gives him a boxing lesson, like he gave everyone else there.
Well, you know, Haye was very explosive. He was very fast.
I'm probably being a bit dramatic there. It'll be a good fight, but I think Usyk will start to take over. But yeah, it'll definitely be a good fight. So, he was very fast, man. Very fast and powerful.
Carl says he won't need the judges as AJ will knock him out. He takes too many shots, full stop.
Usyk takes too many shots. Not really. Not really. I mean, the only time I saw his landing was when he was lunging in. Like he was lunging in with his head down. AJ's not going to throw. AJ's not going to be doing any of that. I mean, he will land some jabs on him. He will land the jabs on him and all that. Sometimes, or like he's done with Pulev. But I mean, he's not going to get him with anything big. I really don't, unless AJ times him well. Because Bellew was timing Usyk at points, but you know, I just don't see it happening. I mean, even if AJ does catch him, Usyk, he's not exactly a guy that's going to go out easily. He's a tough guy, man. Usyk, he's not just going to go out easy like that. AJ's not a guy that's going to take you out with one punch. Well, when was the last time we saw it from AJ?
Yeah. Do you think AJ's a little bit gun shy after the Andy Ruiz loss?
Yeah. I mean, he started becoming a bit gun shy from the Klitschko fight.
All right, yeah,
which is
yes.
it's not a bad thing because
Yeah.
he throws at he's been thrown at the perfect time now. Right? But yeah, it's not like he's really scared. He's not really scared anymore. He's just being more tactical, and it's making him a better fighter as well.
Yeah, Ray said AJ has power though, Mackay.
Yeah, he does, but I still don't see Usyk going out there easily. And Usyk, I don't think he's got, like, people obviously think AJ's going to walk through him. I mean, Usyk, he's not pillow fisted. Usyk will make AJ wary of his punches. And I generally believe that as well. Usyk's even put a bit of weight on as well for it. I mean, that's good and bad.
Is that good? I reckon that's bad though, isn't it? Like,
it's good and bad because he's going to have more power, but I feel he's going to be a bit more slower.
I'd agree. Yeah. I'd agree with you. RJ World Sports News says, I feel like this would have been a different story if it would happen 3 years ago. But Usyk not being active enough, and with all the extra weight he put on since Cruiser, I feel inactivity at 34 will affect him.
Good point. Wait, actually, so he's had 2 fights at heavyweight, and AJ since then has. I mean, AJ since then he's only fought 3 times. Usyk's fought twice. It's not huge, I don't think, but I can see where he's coming from.
I think it's going to be tough. I think thing says Curtis Allen says it's 50-50 in his opinion. He thinks it's a lot closer than what people think is 50-50. Yeah. Would you agree with that or?
Yeah, kind of 50-50. Who are you picking, Imran?
I don't know. For me, it's like I feel like Usyk can outbox him, but then at the same time, I think AJ could knock him out as well. So I think it's. Yeah. I would favor, if it goes to 12 rounds, I would favor Usyk to win. And if you're asking me for an answer, I would slightly edge towards Usyk on points.
Yeah, at least you're not underestimating Usyk because a lot of people are.
Yeah, no, I would never underestimate Usyk because Usyk's a serial winner, and I've said this before. Usyk won every time, every fight. He's never had any losses. He's never, at Olympics, he's a gold medalist, and for me, he's just a very, I just think he's a quality fighter, one of the best in the world.
And some people seem to forget. He's a cruiserweight. Well, even a heavyweight. He has fought all the champs, and not even when they were champs. Yeah, all the top contenders in their own backyard, and he's beaten them by points and sometimes stopped them. And he's doing it heavyweight as well. Done it with Chisora. He's now doing it with AJ. I mean, Usyk's a real deal, man.
Yeah, he is, without question. I think people are sleeping on Usyk in this fight. I don't think it's going to be as easy. Like Carl says, it's a 99. He says I think this is 99.999% to AJ in terms of percentage. I don't agree with that, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's a lot more closer than what people think. I feel Ash is back. So I feel Curtis Allen says I feel most look average against Chisora though, Carl. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Ash.
Yeah,
Ash? No, he's not talking. He's struggling to talk. So Ray says, Mackay, you can't expect to struggle against Chisora and then beat beat AJ.
Yeah, but Ruiz beat AJ, and what the hell did Ruiz do?
Yeah, true.
I mean, and obviously, as I say, with Chisora, when Usyk probably looked the best out everyone who fought Chisora except from Vitali. So, and I mean, we've seen AJ lose to guys that he wasn't supposed to lose to. So, yeah.
So Carl says Ruiz beats Usyk as well.
Well, Carl, he seems very, very confident in AJ. Carl, how much money are you putting on AJ to win? I expect a lot of money. I really no, he's definitely betting. I want to see how much he's putting on.
Usyk would dominate Ruiz, says Jet.
Yes,
But
yeah,
Usyk,
he would. He would, I think. Ruiz is Usyk's a bad matchup for Ruiz, man.
Yeah, stylistic.
If I'm saying it the right way, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Ash, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
No,
Ash, I want to get you straight onto it. Ruiz v Usyk, who wins?
Usyk's a better boxer. Usyk
You think
beats
Usyk beats him?
Yeah, Usyk beats him. What do you think? He doesn't?
No. There's people in the comment section that said that Ruiz would beat Usyk.
Yeah.
But I'd agree. I think Usyk's feet are too good, right? And
yeah, he's quicker, he's
Ruiz
bigger.
is too slow.
Ruiz ain't got that much power, really.
Didn't Ariola go the distance with him?
Ariola dropped him as well.
Yeah. That was a. Did he drop him or did he really stagger him?
No, he dropped him. I'm sure he dropped his. He took a knee or something. I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I think his hand touched. Yeah. I think
something like that. Anyway, he got an 8 count anyway.
Yeah. That was a. What did you make of that performance? What did you make of that Ariola performance?
I think Ruiz is better than that. He's just, I don't know, maybe he wasn't his best night. He's better than that. He's definitely better than that. But
he's with Reynoso now, isn't it?
Yeah, he's in the Canelo camp, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's eating that beef, isn't he?
Yeah, but his performance definitely didn't show it.
Look, maybe he didn't get his weight right or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think his weight wasn't. Yeah. I think he had dropped a lot of weight. He was very thin or thinner, not thin.
He was maybe he wasn't as strong. He wasn't feeling the strongest, maybe.
Yeah. He fought with a good shot. Ariola's a good fighter, man. I know he's old, but he's a good fighter.
He's better than that guy that AJ fought last, isn't he?
Pulev.
Yeah. Would you say?
Pulev is a good fighter, but I think Pulev is old now, man, and he's 39. Pulev is just tough now.
You think I'm older than Ariola?
40 plus, I think.
This is what I'm saying. So I think even Ariola is still better than Pulev.
You think if Ariola fought Pulev, he'd beat Pulev?
Be good fight. I think he would,
What about Ariola and Chisora, guys? Who wins that? Good fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight. Oh, that's a tough one, man. I'll have to give that a think. Yeah. Obviously, because he looked like he was aging a little in the Parker fight. But but they're both out of their prime and all that. So yeah, they're pretty sore.
Yeah, fair enough. I want to ask. So Carl goes, I don't know how you are getting the confidence about Usyk. He has been terrible in all his heavyweight fights against average fighters.
But I bet you're the same person saying Ruiz was average.
Is that to me, Is that to me?
Hey?
No, is that to what's both?
Say that again.
Is that to me and is it Mike? Is that to me?
Both of you.
I'll let Mike say what I was gonna say.
Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah, but I bet Carl's the same person who said Ruiz was average. And I know for a fact he did say that. He's saying Carl, do you think Usyk is average at heavyweight?
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah. So if he's saying Usyk's average, he's definitely said Ruiz was average.
Yeah.
He said that Ruiz would beat Usyk.
Yeah, he's going to say it now because Ruiz beat the crap out of AJ in the first fight. So Ruiz is going to get all the hype. But we all know, we all know. I mean, I can see why people will say Ruiz, but I personally do think Usyk would give Ruiz a boxing lesson.
What do you think, Ash?
He would, because he only got into the fight with AJ when AJ was going toe to toe with him, and then hit him on the head and knocked his membrane out of place and whatever. But other than that, even AJ was boxing his head off. So if AJ can do that, then what makes you think Usyk can't do that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But what they're gonna say is that AJ is bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
But then I could say Usyk's a better boxer. So you can clear that gap. You can close that gap there, where Usyk will take AJ takes one step, Usyk can take two, and close the gap quicker. And because he's a better boxer, if you know what I mean. Just for example.
Do you think, Ash? Do you think it's a 50-50 fight, Usyk Joshua?
It is a 50-50 fight in a way that if AJ needs to take him to deep waters and impose himself on him, can you do that? And Usyk needs to box and keep at a range and whatever he needs to do, and put something on AJ to make him slow down a bit. So obviously, this all happens in the first 6 rounds. Are we going to see how it goes? We can't just, because they're both top level fighters. Usyk is, what I mean, he's got all the accolades. Just because people are saying struggle against Chisora, like I said not long ago, everyone struggles with Chisora. Who's knocked Chisora out like in the first round or 2-3 rounds? Look at Dillian White. Dillian White's a top. I like Dillian White. He's one of our top heavyweights. Man, look, even he went life and death with him. How many fights? So you can't just underestimate Chisora, because Chisora's there for a reason. He doesn't sell out. He doesn't sell out 0-2 just because he's just average and a gatekeeper. He's in every fight he's in. He has a slim, good chance of winning. You know what I mean? Like he's got a chance, like more than like a puncher's chance. You get what I mean?
Did he beat Parker in the last fight? Did you think, Ash?
I think he did, but I think he did. Thinking about it now, I think Chisora did. He did. I think he just did enough. Because Parker didn't do anything. What did Parker do? Parker didn't hurt him. Parker didn't do anything that that stopped Chisora coming forward, did he? I can't remember. It's been a little while now, isn't it? But
yeah.
As far as I remember, I thought it was close.
What do you make of Parker, Ash? He's been quite poor, hasn't he?
Parker, I don't know. You know what? He's not that good either, is he? Really? You know what? If you look at it, the heavyweight division, there's only a handful of fighters. Because the rest of them are not really good, are they?
No, they're not. What do you make of Wilder?
Wilder, look, obviously everyone knows he's got the power, but Tyson Fury showed that, even at the ring and what he's been through and everything, because he's a good special fighter, if you put that to aside, but with all what he's done, he still come back and fought nobody and still beat him really twice.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder, he's got that power and he wants that aura of to scare people more than anything, because guys go in there scared of his punch and then they fucking think shit, and then they're scared of the punches. They're scared to do what they want to do in there. You know what I mean? So it's different horses for different courses. You got to have the mentality as well as when you go up to top level. It's like Billy Joe Saunders. He went to top level Canelo. He didn't have that mentality. Yeah, he hurt his ice hockey, but come on, if you go back in boxing, guys, I forget, not going too back, but I think it was Lomachenko. No. It's that guy that is in Canelo's camp. He had a broken jaw, and he fought
Valdez.
He fought with a broken jaw, and I'm sure it must be painful as well, taking punches going on. So you can't. It's levels. You gotta have. You gotta have. You know what I mean? You gotta have the mentality, and you gotta have everything to go with it when you get to the top level. So that's why I fancy Usyk. When you're saying against, who is he against? Sorry, they saying Usyk was what?
Usyk v Ruiz.
Ruiz, yeah, because Ruiz is there, but he's not. He's a good boxer because people don't know much about him. He's been boxing for a long time, and he's got a good chin as well. Because with the shots that he took after when he got up, he still stood up. You know what I mean? So you can't underestimate. I do like Ruiz, but when you find a guy like Usyk who's bigger, well-rounded, seen a lot of styles, and he's strong as well. He's not a small guy. People think because he's 6'3" and he's not 200 pounds and he's small. But he uses his weight the right way. Maybe not against Chisora, but like I said, Chisora does that with everyone. Ruiz, I guarantee you one thing: Ruiz will not be able to do that with Usyk the way Chisora fought. Because he get knocked out.
You think Chisora would give what's his name, Ruiz, hell as well?
Maybe not, because Ruiz's punch is quite quick. He's quite quick with his punches and stuff. So Ruiz, Chisora maybe get touched up quite a bit, so he maybe not try to do that. And but that would be interesting to see as well. Because Chisora likes to just fight one way, doesn't
he? Pressure fire.
Yeah, he likes to just get in the brawl, doesn't he? He wants to war. That's why he's war Chisora, isn't he?
Yeah.
He loves the war, isn't he?
I'm gonna come to Mackay now. Mackay, Parker just seems to have no energy to this game. I don't get it. He has definitely got some skills, but I feel he lacks something on the mental side. Almost like he's too nice. He lacks ruthlessness, says Richard. What do you make of what he's saying, Mackay?
Yeah, he's right. I mean, Parker, I feel he doesn't have a killer instinct.
Yeah.
Like, especially when it starts, like, especially in the later rounds as well. Chisora, he's always showing a killer instinct, but he just didn't even have grey hair in that fight. I swear Chisora did. It's like he aged in that fight, and Parker didn't capitalize on it or anything.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think I think he's I think what Cass Ahmed said here, Amir Khan v Kell Brook is on. I don't know where he's got that information from. I don't know whether he's just saying it, but it's definitely not on. It's definitely not been announced. But there are a few rumblings going around, Ash, that this fight is on.
Is there? I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this fight.
Are you excited? A lot of people are not very excited. Some people.
I'm more excited.
Yeah, it's not that. Imran, know what I mean. It's like it's a battle of Britain, isn't it? It's a battle of Britain of the best welterweights in the last decade, in a way. And then so we're gonna see regardless when it is. Like maybe the Pacquiao. I know everyone wanted to see it years ago, but you got to remember these guys have got careers. And Amir Khan didn't want to risk fighting Kell Brook 5 years ago because he didn't need to. Now the fight's still there. He might not make 10 million. He still make 5, 6, and the fight will happen.
Mackay, Kell Brook made some comments. He said that the Amir Khan fight is still the biggest fight outside of AJ Fury in Britain between two British fighters. What do you think?
Well, me thinking on the top of my head, I think he's telling the truth. I think he's telling the truth. Yeah, it's the second half. Well, I mean, like Dillian White against AJ or Fury would probably be bigger.
Yeah, that'd be bigger.
There's no grudge there, though, isn't it?
Yeah, there is. There's a big grudge.
We do?
Yeah, them two hate each other, man. Who? Ash. Dillian White and Joshua.
But they've already fought. We've already seen it, though.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I want about a fight we haven't seen.
Well, White hates Fury.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think White hates everyone.
We're talking about the heavyweights, though, isn't it? The heavyweights are going to always have more attention, especially anything including AJ and Fury. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can see what he's saying, though. I can see what Brook is saying.
Yeah, he's right. If you were taking that just heavyweights, yeah, he's definitely right.
So then, why does it matter if it was 5 years now or 5 years before? You get what I mean?
I think people are peed off because Ash. I think you know what it is. I think people were peed off because at one point it would have been a fight that could have sold out Wembley 80,000 and probably done over 1 million pay-per-view buys.
That's Kell Brook's fault. That's Kell Brook's fault, so not Amir Khan's fault.
Why do you say that's Kell Brook? Why would you say that's Kell Brook's fault?
Because he didn't bring nothing to the table.
You don't think he brought anything to the table?
Yeah. What did he bring to the table?
No, but he was world champion and it was a massive fight. I don't get what you mean.
People. Go on. Was he going to say something?
Go on.
I was going to say, basically, people don't realize that. Yeah, he had a belt, but his pay-per-view, did he find pay-per-view or, you know what I mean? He's following like a bro when he went to fight Sean Porter. He didn't get paid much. And like when he wanted to fight Amir Khan, he wanted big dollar. And Amir Khan thinking risk to money ratio. He didn't need to do that.
So what you're saying then, Ash, you think 70-30 was fair then? Because I know Khan did offer Kell Brook the fight at 70-30. A lot of people said Khan priced himself out the fight. Okay,
I'll give you an example, right? Canelo, right, against Amir Khan. Amir Khan, small star, Canelo, superstar, right? I'm sure it was 70-30 and it must have been a split there, 70-30, maybe around that mark. Whatever it was, 65-35, whatever it would have been in Canelo's favor, right?
Yeah.
So if you come to a smaller scale where Amir Khan's the bigger star, what's the difference there then? Amir Khan's took smaller paydays from bigger stars he's fought, even though he's got a bigger following than Kell Brook. And Kell Brook's never got paid more than before his Golovkin fight, maybe 300,000 for the Sean Porter fight, if I'm not wrong or correct, or something around there. So he needed to kind of say, no, okay, whatever you're gonna give me, be reasonable. And he would have got his biggest payday anyway. But he did. But then he didn't want. He wanted more money. And then when you're asking for more money, and the guy doesn't need to take that risk, and he can go fight someone else, like I don't know whoever, like a Sammy Vargas, and make that money, then he doesn't need to do it. So now he has got no one to fight Amir Khan, really. So now he's saying, okay, Kell Brook, I'll give you a payday. So that's why he's giving him the payday now. Now Kell Brook's happy to take it because he's got no one else to fight.
But the thing is, here's the thing though, Ash. I want to ask you, okay, I know what you're saying about Khan, having options and Khan being the biggest star, this, that, and the other. But at the time, don't you think that was a legacy fight? And don't you think that would have been a fight that would have put Khan at another level if he had beaten Kell Brook, legacy-wise?
Yeah, but yes and no, because it's only a handful of fighters that think about legacy. You understand what I'm trying to say? I'll give you an example like Manny Pacquiao right now. He's thinking about legacy. He's not thinking about money. He doesn't need money. He's thinking about legacy. He's fighting the best in the welterweight division. He's not fighting YouTubers. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. So Amir Khan didn't think about legacy when he went up and fought Canelo. He didn't care about legacy. If he could talk about legacy, then he would have fought Kell Brook. He still would have got 3-4 million. But that's the point I'm trying to make. It wasn't about legacy. It's about him making money. And Kell Brook was too much of a dangerous fight for him to make 3-4 million, where he could rather make 13 million and lose to Canelo, and it doesn't matter. And no one's gonna, say anything about it in Britain and, kill him for the rest of his life. At least this way, now his end of his career, he can still say, look, whatever. Even if he loses, he could say, well, it's one of them, blah blah blah, and people just forget about it. But in his prime, if he lost, then people would not. Then he wouldn't have got half the fights he did, and he would have not. And he would have, people are still going on about it now. So it's one of them. It boils down to the money wasn't enough for the risk taking for the fight, and Kell Brook maybe wanted more money to make the fight. For example, few people speak to Amir Khan, bring him to the table. First he's like, oh no, whatever. Then he just managed to bring him to the table, and the Kell Brook's talking stupid about money. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like too many barriers to overcome for Amir Khan.
Makai, what do you make of what Ash just said?
No, I mean Brook did bring something to the table. It's just Khan had bigger and better fights, hence why he was fighting guys like Canelo and all that. There was just bigger fights out there, but Brook, he definitely had something on the table. But I mean, Khan just wasn't interested because.
What do you think Amir should have done? What do you think he should have done?
I think he should have taken a Brook fight than the Canelo fight, because Canelo, that took a bit out of his career. The knockout, he should never have done that. I mean, he showed his greatness by wanting to be great, but
you can also argue, Makai, that after the Canelo fight, Amir Khan was no longer a world championship level fighter. So did he sell away his career like that night, just like Kell Brook did to Golovkin?
Yeah, it's
both. So effectively, both of them sold their careers then away.
Both in the same year as well.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Which is not good, man. Not good, because that would have been whoever, like, for me personally, with the career that Khan had, with a career, Ash, and this is what I think, with the career that Khan had already up until that point, Ash.
Yeah, I'm listening.
If he had beaten Kell Brook,
right,
at that point, I believe that Amir Khan there and then automatically, with the big super fight and how big attention that would have had on that fight, I believe Amir Khan would have been Hall of Fame material.
Even one thing he could have done, even if he didn't want to do that, he should have took the Danny Garcia fight.
Yeah. I agree.
Danny Garcia was there for the taking.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins that fight, that rematch, if they had fought? Yeah, I agree. He was mandatory for Danny Garcia.
You don't know the backstory. Maybe he didn't want to have it again. I don't see Danny Garcia shouting off the treetops at the time for Amir Khan. You know what I mean?
No, they didn't want it, man.
But
they didn't want it.
But I didn't see him in any videos calling Danny Garcia as much as he did other people. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't really He maybe did want it, but I think like then again, not much. He wasn't maybe getting paid much. If he's getting offered 3 million for Garcia and 2 million to fight, I don't know, Samuel Vargas, he's maybe just chose to fight Vargas. You know, easier fight, still good money. Because you know what I mean. Because normally, if you want a rematch and you really want the fight, you make the fight. Like look how many rematches Manny Pacquiao's had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Mackay, what do you think would have happened in that rematch between Khan and Garcia?
You know, it's very hard to say that because to say my prediction on that because Khan he was doing well against Garcia, but Garcia he was looking for that punch.
Yeah, he was looking for that left hook.
And
Khan, do you think Amir fought recklessly in that fight? I didn't think he boxed very well. I think he was too gung ho.
Yeah, he was being too reckless, and Khan he still fought just the same as he did back then, around the time when he was Garcia's mandatory, so Garcia probably could have done it again, but it's never works like that. You never when you rematch them, you never beat them the same way you done before. We know that as well. Like
he would have been more cautious as well, wouldn't he, Khan?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I would probably go with Khan. So this for the Canelo fight.
Yeah, so just say if that night Canelo wasn't in the ring and Garcia was in the ring with Khan.
They beat him.
Yeah, I think Khan beats him, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a good fight. I would have favored Khan in that rematch, but this is what I mean. I felt like he sold away. Like, let's be honest, Ash Mackay, he was never going to beat Canelo. Let's be honest.
Ash. Yeah, he was never going to beat Canelo.
Yeah, he was never going to. He never had a chance, man. He had like a 5% chance of winning.
Yeah, and I just didn't. Yeah, man, that fight really frustrates me because I feel like you're never gonna win that fight. Canelo's just too strong. And
same with the Kell Brook Golovkin. He was never gonna win that.
Oh yeah, no chance. No
chance in a million years he was never gonna win that fight. And he took the fight for money and he fucked himself over. Because I'll be honest with you, before that fight, I fancied Kell Brook to beat Errol Spence. I fancied him to beat him because he's fresh. Even though he didn't have the competition at the time still, but you still knew he still had it in the tank to go and fight, and he still had, the big guy, isn't he, at 147?
Yeah, he is. He's a massive dude. Massive dude.
But you've got to dedicate yourself, otherwise you got to take the right fights. It's like Floyd Mayweather. People moan about how he took these fights, whatever, but if you look at it, he took them for a reason because he had no injuries like that.
So RJ World Sports says Khan was never the same after Canelo fight. That KO was frightening. However, Khan did box brilliantly, but I guess the inevitable happened once Canelo started setting his traps and Khan started to slow. Mackay?
Yeah, Canelo started getting the better of him in the last 2 rounds. He started figuring him out. So it wasn't going to end well for
Amir Khan, yeah.
For Khan, yeah, but Khan he was focusing. He was really focusing the fight. And he was let off for 1 second, and Canelo clipped him.
Canelo was. I just don't understand, Mackay. I don't see, when you look back at it, you just think that fight was wrong, man. That fight was wrong. You know what I mean? That it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. Amir Khan at that point was still a championship level fighter at welterweight,
Yeah, I remember watching a documentary about it, about his career and then the Canelo fight was in. And even Amir Khan's wife was hoping that Canelo wouldn't accept it. She even begged him to not take the fight.
Oh, really?
She begged Khan to not take the fight, and obviously, but Khan, he wanted to take the fight, and then Canelo's team was very interested in it. So yeah, it happened, and obviously his wife was right. Well, she wasn't right. She didn't say Khan would lose, but she didn't want him to take it.
Ash, what did you think when that fight got announced, Ash? Yeah. What was you thinking at that time?
Oh, it was it's an uphill battle for him, and he's a big guy. We don't have to go on about Canelo. Everyone knows how good he is. And normally Amir Khan, he bamboozles with his speed, how quick he is, and and the fighters get, you know, stuck in mud kind of thing, and you just in and out, and you like you catch him, but he catches you with 3, and you know what I mean, stuff like that. But in that fight, he had no chance of winning because you couldn't hurt him. Canelo obviously is a type of fighter that, you know, works. He's like Crawford, Mayweather, and stuff like that, where he works it inside the ring and does what he has to do. Whereas, if you compare it to Manny Pacquiao or someone like that, they only fight the one way and they'll keep doing the same thing. Or like Amir Khan will have to look to the corner and he'd be telling him do this or do that. Or like, you know, I don't know, Errol Spence will have to go to the corner and his corner will tell him do this or do this. You know what I mean? So back to what you're asking me. It was uphill battle for him. He was never going to win it. He just went up there because he knew he was going to lose. He didn't lose and get knocked out like that, but he knew that there was no backlash from that loss. And he'll because he's always got backlash. I don't know why, all his career, and so he knew he was not going to get no backlash from this fight. And if he loses, and he'll get good money from it, and that's why he done it. But he was in the fight. He come out strong. But you know what I got from that fight though? He was scared when he was fighting. He was tentative when he was throwing his punches. He was thinking what's coming back. The way he was fighting, he wasn't like freely throwing his punches. He was like very maybe scared is not the right word because obviously no fighter is scared. But he was, you know, he wasn't himself. He wasn't like he was throwing the punches just to keep him off. If you know what I mean. It wasn't like he was imposing himself in any way. He was just from the round 1. I could tell about my opinion about watching it. But you know, like you said, he shouldn't have been in the ring anyway with him.
Yeah, it was too big, man. He was too big and too dangerous. RJ World Sports says, what do you think? Should Khan in particular, after not fighting for 2 years, have a tune-up fight before facing Brook? I reckon we'll have a tune-up fight end of the year, then Brook in fight in spring. What do you guys think?
Nah, man, straight to Brook, man. What's the tune-ups about?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I mean, we've already been waiting 5 years. So, yeah, I think we should get the fight now. Well, I'm not excited for it anyway, but I mean, it's better than anything else.
The only reason I'm excited about it is because they're both at the end, so they're both going to be maybe going toe to toe, and so at least you're going to get to see some action.
Yeah.
Do you think, Makai, it'll be a great fight though in terms of the fight itself? Don't you think it'd be exciting?
Yeah, I guess the fight will be exciting. I mean, it's a fight that makes so much sense. I mean, you know, Khan, he's calling that Pacquiao, which is a flipping dangerous fight for him now. And a dangerous fight for when he started calling them out. Where else fights is there for Khan, really? Like, the only fight that makes sense is the Brook fight. They're both at the end of their careers, so why not?
This is what I said to Imran was about Kell Brook didn't do his part, because if Kell Brook was a big enough name now, he could have turned the tables. I said, hold on, I don't need this fight now. If you want to fight me, this is how much I want. How much money I want. Because Kell Brook waited around all his career for other people. This is why he's in the position of being like a B-side all the time. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know what? You know where I think, guys, Kell Brook really could have separated himself? You know when he decided to fight Golovkin, if he had fought Jesse Vargas, Ash, I think you mentioned it, didn't you?
Yeah, I said that to you earlier.
If he had fought Jesse Vargas and become a unified welterweight champion, Kell Brook would have separated himself. Because at that point, I think Amir Khan would have needed Kell Brook.
Even if he fought any top welterweight, because he could have beat any of them guys.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
You know what I mean? Then you could say, look, I beat this guy. I'm a world champion. There's nothing more to say. Let's get the fight on. But because he's just waited around and started fighting Biziers and guys like that, then he can't really. That's what I meant by he's got nothing to bring to the table, because he's got no record, because he's fought nobody besides Sean Porter at that time. I know he's fought someone after now, but before Golovkin. And you know, he was not pay-per-view star, and he's never fought out of England like besides Sean Porter. So you know, Amir Khan's a way massive star than him, so he can't be demanding anything. So he needed to go out there and show that, look, I'll beat 3-4 guys. I'm a champion as well. And then you could say, you know, Amir Khan didn't want the fight. So it is Kell Brook's fault in a way that maybe not intentionally saying I want it, but how he acted. Then he's trying to say bad stuff about him, and I'll do this to him, and then when you haven't got the backing, you can't say stuff like that because the fight won't happen.
So Rapid Blaze says Kell's dad messed up the fight. He outpriced himself.
So this is what I'm trying to say. I didn't know who done it, but someone did it. But yeah, it's one of them. When it gets to a certain stage of a boxer's career, especially in the late 20s, they start looking for the money fights. That's what Kell Brook was doing when Eddie Hearn offered him the fight. If he thought about it, he should have thought about his career. He wouldn't have took the fight. But I think Eddie Hearn dangled the carrot at it. Must have been, I don't know, was it about £1 million he got for that fight?
Say that again.
How much did he get paid for the Golovkin fight? Was it about £1 million or?
No, $4 million.
So there you go. So when Eddie Hearn dangled that carrot at him, he took it. But on the other hand, Chris Eubank Jr. didn't take that because he knew what Golovkin can do.
Yeah.
So it's like saying Caleb Plant knows what Canelo can do. So whatever they're offering him, he wants more because he knows it could be his last fight of his career.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I would have loved to see Golovkin fight Eubank instead.
That would have been a better fight, yeah. I don't rate Eubank though.
Yeah, I don't like Eubank. It would have been great to see Golovkin beat him up.
Yeah, he's not really. He's nothing like his dad.
Yeah, he fights nothing like him as well, man. You'd think he'd fight like him. He fights nothing like him.
I don't know.
Guys, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Carl is asking that where will Conor Brook end up on? What broadcaster? So do you think Carl is saying, do you think he'll end up on DAZN? Do you think he'll end up on Sky Sports? Because Eddie Hearn said that Amir Khan's going out there and putting it to all broadcasters. Where do you think he'll end up on?
Oh yeah, Kell Brook, he's not with Hearn anymore, is he?
Well, I'm pretty sure Hearn is talking. I think Amir Khan is talking to Eddie Hearn, and he's talking to everybody. But Sky Sports, Adam Smith has always been keen. I'm pretty sure you guys are aware how keen Adam Smith is to make Conor Brook. So do you think Sky Sports will do all they can to get that fight on Sky Sports?
Yeah, definitely. But I think it will be on DAZN.
You think so?
Yeah, because I've seen Hearn's been talking about that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, but he wasn't too keen. He's kind of like said, well, not keen. He was interested, but he said at the right price. So he was kind of like keeping it open that he does want to do it, but at the right price.
Yeah, okay. I think Sky then. Yeah, Sky.
What do you think, Ash?
Eddie's going to do the fight.
You think Eddie's going to do it?
Definitely. You think he's not going to be involved in that fight? He's the biggest promoter in England.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank Warren's not going to be involved in that. He's never been, he's not been involved in it. Either of them guys, Amir Khan years ago. So he's not going to interest in that. Well, he had interest, but he won't have no say in that. And then he's at Sky Sports, like you said, but Eddie Hearn is the one who put people on Sky Sports. So Eddie Hearn's going to give the package, I think, anyway. And they're going to go with Eddie Hearn, and wherever Eddie Hearn puts it, and like his DAZN is the one. That's the platform, isn't it?
Yeah, DAZN's his platform now, yeah.
So I wouldn't say 100% anything can change, but I think 90% is be on DAZN.
Yeah, Adam kind of just said it as well. Hearn probably wants Khan versus Benn a lot more than Khan versus Brook.
What do you think about that, Mackay?
The fight?
Eddie Hearn wants Khan v Brook. Why do you think that makes any sense?
Khan versus Benn, not really. I mean, that makes sense at all. The fight that does make sense, and I'm not excited for it, but it makes sense. Is Khan versus Brook. Benn, well, he still needs to fight that Granados, who he was scheduled to fight, and Benn, he needs to stop calling out guys like Porter. Porter would destroy him. Yeah, and that fight makes sense as well. Benn just needs to keep on doing what he's doing. Taking decent fights one by one, just getting better. Because it seems to me like, do you think he's looking for the money fighting Khan, or do you think he actually just wants to fight for legacy?
I think he thinks Khan's washed up, and I think he wants the money, he wants that fame. I mean, he knows that Khan brings a lot profile wise, and I think he thinks that Khan's an easy payday. Would you agree, Ash?
Khan will batter him.
Do you think so?
I think so. I've thought about it. I think Khan will still batter him. You know why?
Why?
Khan's got the pedigree, man. He's got the amateur background, and he wouldn't fight him anyway because it's not worth him fighting him because there's nothing from it. But on a hypothetical, I think Amir Khan will still batter him. Just because Terence Crawford made Amir Khan look tough doesn't mean that doesn't mean that this guy Conor Benn is gonna do something to Amir Khan.
Do you think? Well, how do you rate Conor Benn?
Conor Benn's good, yeah, but Conor Benn's not 4-1. I'm not seeing. He's only 4. You know what? Conor Benn should fight. You know that Avni, the guy who beat Josh Kelly.
Yeah.
He needs to fight that level of fighter first before he starts calling.
Does he beat Avni?
I think Avni gives him. That's a 50-50. I think Avni gives him run for the money. I think it might even fucking do him. Avni is a good fighter. What do you think? You think Ben beats him?
What Ben beats? Thing is, I don't know what Amir's got left, bro. I don't know what he's got left. That's the thing, man. I don't know. He may be like completely shot to bits. I don't know. So this is what I'm saying.
You're looking at him against the pound for pound best fighter.
Yeah.
If you put Floyd Mayweather at his prime against all these guys, Mayweather will make them look like that. Look how Mayweather made Manny Pacquiao look like.
Yeah.
But look at Manny Pacquiao now. When he went against Thurman, he wasn't the same fighter that was against Mayweather.
Carl is saying Khan is a nightmare fight for Ben. If he wins, he gets no credit. But if he loses to Khan, massive setback.
Yeah, this is what I said. It would never happen because unless they're going to pay Amir Khan 20 million to take the fight, then he'll take the fight. Other than that, he's not going to fight Conor Benn. There's no reason to fight Conor Benn. He's not a champion. And Amir Khan's not looking to be a champion. He hasn't been looking to be a champion for the last 5 years. He just wants paydays. And Conor Benn isn't no payday. And whoever's thinking of it's all talk because no one would really want to put him right now in with Amir Khan. Any promoter really.
You know what, Ash? You know what? His trainer said. His trainer Tony Sims, Conor Benn's trainer. Yeah, he said that I would want 2 or 3 more fights before I put him in with Amir Khan.
You know what makes more sense? Conor Benn versus Kell Brook. Even though Kell Brook's a big guy, but Kell Brook's more or less on that way of more on the shelf than Amir Khan.
You think so?
Yeah. Because if Conor Benn comes in and gets a few on him early, you could stop him.
Yeah, but don't you think he could do the same to Khan though?
Amir Khan starts fast as well, though, isn't it? And he ain't seen that speed.
Yeah.
Speed is the last thing. Speed, if you can, like you said, Amir Khan still got that speed. It's just that his legs are slightly slower because the headshots maybe, but he's still got the hand speed.
Yeah, he's still quite fast. Obviously, he's not as fast as he used to be, but
yeah, he's got the speed.
He's still got. Yeah,
you can put it on Conor Benn, I think. Anyway.
What do you think of Conor Benn, Ash? What do you think? Like, what do you guys think? Where do you think he's at? Do you think where do you think he can become world champion? Where do you think his level?
No, he won't become world champion. He won't become world champion. He's doing well.
147 is he?
Yeah.
No. This guy. Do you think? Okay, forget the top guys. You know, Jaron Ennis. Do you think he beats him? I think Ennis will destroy him.
Oh yes, Ennis is a monster.
So he's
he's big.
Yeah, Ennis will destroy him. And Ennis is not much people really, unless you're a boxing fan, not many people know who Ennis is. So if you can't beat guys like that, then he's the one that's going to be maybe the next world champion, maybe coming up.
Yeah, mate. I mean, Ennis, he's good at welterweight, but I think when he starts moving up, like he'll have a nightmare against the other guys because obviously, you know, he'll be fighting people his size.
Yeah, but what I mean is, you can see he can be a world champion. By the eye test, by looking at Ennis and the way he fights and the guys he's fought, and he's got
well, I mean, you know, because obviously Spence, you know, I think he'll get one of the vacant belts because obviously Spence, if he does get